everyone, quick layout update this week, a few bits and bobs I've been getting on with. So ModelU very kindly sent me a load of figures to have a look at and show on the channel and paint up. So other than them sending them to me, they're not paid me anything to do this. So I'm just going to give my honest feedback on them and see how they look on the layout. So you can see the ones that they've sent me there. This is how they come when they're fresh out the packet. They're 3D printed, so they've got these supports on them, I guess. So they're super easy to take them off the sprue though. So they gave me some livestock as well. I've got some cows there, and straight away you can see that the detail on them is crazy. So a bit nervous at first about painting these. I didn't want to ruin them and make them look really dark, but spoiler alert, they came out looking quite good. So I'll show you how I did it. So first of all, I put them all on the side and got ready to undercoat them. So I used, what I would recommend using is this White Scar Citadel spray. I had barely any in the can, so I just ran out straight away. So I ended up putting some white paint in the airbrush, which didn't really work as well because it kind of beaded on the plastic. Whereas you don't get that with the Citadel spray can, so I definitely recommend those. Right, so I'm just continuing to paint some of these now. I'm just trying out a few different things. At the minute, I'm using these Citadel contrast paints. So again, I've undercoated the chap in white. And then the deal with these is basically they're like a paint that will pull in the recesses and leave a lighter tone on the raised areas, so you'll almost get a kind of natural shading effect using them. This is the same type of paint that I've also been using on the faces, which is this one here, Gulliman Flesh. So it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to go over some areas of this, like some of the guys' trousers, and I can then paint the blue for the jackets and things over the top after. Yeah, the level of detail on these is just awesome, considering I think they've been 3D printed, I guess. But the nice thing about these contrast paints is you don't need to be a whiz at painting miniatures or anything. You can still get some really nice effects for relatively little effort using them. So we'll give this guy the blue trousers, so he's got his overalls underneath, and then we'll give him a black jacket. So again, doesn't matter if we go over or anything, we can just touch that with the blue after. I'm just going to do his hat as well. And these guys are going to be going in some of my locomotive cabs, so it doesn't matter whether it's the paint job's absolutely perfect, it's just got to be convincing enough so it looks good from within the cab. Right, so just go up around his neck a little bit. I just need to do his trousers now and his shoes, and then I might just dry brush a lighter shade over his jacket just to kind of bring out some of the highlights, then he'll be pretty much done. So I'm just keeping this really simple and just using the contrast paints to get a really good effect. Right, I'll show you some of the flesh colour now. So I've just undercoated this white, and just like the other one, I'm just going to apply it to the skin. Need a little bit more than that, not quite that much. And just let it pool into the recesses, to where his eyes, nose and mouth are. I don't know how well that's picking that up on camera, but you can just see how you're getting a little bit of kind of shadowing there around his ear. And it just looks really good when it's dried. So we'll just do his hands as well. So for the jackets and overalls, I'm just using some Citadel Cantor Blue. Right, so I'm just going to work my way through these now and get all these jackets done. Right, so I'm in the process of adding some crew to my class 37. I forgot I added these details here, which make taking the body off a bit difficult. Right, so I've taken the body off my class 37. I'm just going to add a couple of the finished crew onto the seats there now. So I've just finished this guy. Right, there we go. I just put the body back on this, and there is the chap inside. So yeah, I think it looks really good. Gonna look so much better when I'm filming now to actually have someone in there. So yeah, super happy with that. I'm gonna add another finished chap, which is this guy here, which is actually I think a right-hand drive one, but I'm gonna put him on this side, almost like he's kind of looking backwards because I'm often running this engine tender first. So I'm not even gonna glue him, I don't think. I think what I'll do is, yeah, just have him poking out like that. So then I've kind of got him looking out, either looking behind him at the coaches, or looking back as the locomotive runs tender first. So another chap here that I've just finished is going into my Stania Mogul. Never mind painting them, the hardest bit is just getting them into the cab without taking all the body off. There we go. Cool. So I've already got a backman figure in there, but you can see the difference. Just the way these guys are posed is just is much better. So yeah, it looks really good in there. Right, I found the perfect guy for this Lancashire and Yorkshire tank. I've got this guy sorted now, so there's the tank engine. And then I've got this guy just leaning out the window a bit. So all I've done is I've just added some slightly lighter blue highlights over the top of his top there. So yeah, that just fits this engine perfectly, I think. Right, I've finished painting up all the figures now. I've still got some live stock here that I'm going to just set aside for a minute and finish shortly. So I've already shown you the ones I've added into the locomotives, but ModelU have sent me so many of these. I've got more than I can fit in my locomotives. He's snuck in there. So I'm going to just add these to new locomotives as and when I get them, but quite a few of these figures I can just put on the layout without, you know, in other scenes. So I'm going to do that. But just to show you the finished article on some of these, I'm by no means a decent figure painter, but I've just, once I'd finished painting these, I just used a couple of washes just to add some shading. But I think this guy's going to look pretty decent in one of the locomotive cabs. I'll just show you a few of the others. I mean, holding these ones, comparing these ones to the figures you get from Bachmann, they are in a different league, aren't they? Like the level of detail and stuff on them is just so much better. I'm going to add a few of these to the layout. The first guy is this guy who's just kind of sitting down chilling, so I'm going to put him on this step here, I think, as if he's kind of like a member of signal box staff just sitting down having a bit of a chill. So you can kind of see them there as the trains go past. I think that's a nice little touch there. And then I did have a different figure on the signal box balcony here, but I'm going to replace him with this chap just because he looks that much better. And he's kind of stood there with a rag over his shoulder looking out for the passing train with his cup of tea. Yeah, I think that looks great. Just adds a bit of life to the scene as the trains go by when I'm filming. And then the last chap I'm going to add here, just to complete this scene, I'm going to add this guy with like a shunting pole, like he's been uncoupling whatever wagons I've got stored in this bit. And because he's in quite a neutral pose, I'm going to just put him there, almost like he's having a chat with the guy just resting. So it looks like everyone's kind of stopped what they're doing to come out and watch whatever train's going past. Yeah, the detail is just amazing when they're on the layout. It's just a nice little cameo scene there with the stone and the bus stops in the background. The next little scene I'm going to add is where I've got this coal yard here in the goods yard for Misselthwaite station. I'm just going to add a couple of guys outside the entrance there, just like they've finished a bit of work and having a chat. So I've got this guy with his shovel, who I think is actually a fireman from one of the loco crews, but I'm going to put him here for now. So I'm just super gluing him into place. And then he's going to be having a little chat with this guy here. Oops, smashed a tree. Cool, so that's another nice little cameo. Two guys having a chat outside the coal yard. Right, lastly, I'm just going to add a couple of guys to the station where there isn't as much going on, just so there's some, you know, a few cameos in the background. So I'm going to add this chap in front of the Misselthwaite sign, and he can be stood with this guy kind of looking at the train who's checking his pocket watch. So I'll be able to film the train coming in from this angle, and they're having a look at it, or when it's departing they can be watching too. Right, so I've got the figures up on the layout now. I've still got so many left over, so I'm going to just keep putting those into cabs, and I've just got some of the livestock to do that I'll finish in time for the next layout update. But just to summarise this, I'm so pleased and impressed with the difference that these have made to my engines, and also just around the layout as well. I think the reason these are so good is just the natural kind of passive poses that they're in, rather than the people walking around, because you can, you know, they don't look like they should be moving. They're just standing looking at stuff. And as I've said, I'm by no means a decent figure painter, but I think these are, you know, using those simple techniques, you can get these to a standard that, you know, from a distance they look really convincing. So I'm absolutely delighted with these. I'd absolutely recommend the ModelU range of figures if you're tempted of getting some, and yeah, look into the Citadel paints as well if you want an easy way of making them look quite convincing too. So that's all I've got for this week. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll catch you next time.